Hey, student, how are you? Welcome to our session on operations with rational expressions. You can always pause the video and try them before we go through them. Here we go. To add and subtract rational expressions, you need a common denominator. We have a common denominator of x minus 3. So we can add the numerators, 4x plus 5. Subtracting, you need a common denominator. And once again, we do have a common denominator of x plus 2. So we can subtract the numerators. And we'll subtract the entire expression, 8x minus 7. I'm going to distribute the minus and get 3x minus 4 minus 8x plus 7. And then we'll simplify by combining our like terms all over our common denominator. 3x minus 8x, and negative 4 plus 7. Getting a common denominator. So we've got x plus 5 and x plus 1. I'm going to multiply by x plus 1 over x plus 1, which is essentially 1. And that'll give us a common denominator of x plus 1 times x plus 5. And over here, we'll multiply by x plus 5, top and bottom. And that'll give us a common denominator. So we get a common denominator of x plus 1 times x plus 5. And now we can subtract the numerators. We get 3 times x plus 1 minus 7 times x plus 5. And then we can distribute and simplify. 3x plus 3 minus 7x minus 35. And I'm going to go over here. And we'll combine like terms. 3x minus 7x, negative 4x, and then minus 32. And then you could leave it like that depending on what your answer key wants. You could factor out negative 4, and you get x plus 8. All factors. Getting a common denominator with subtraction and factoring. So let's factor this difference of squares, x plus 7, x minus 7. And now we see that the second fraction, we could multiply by x minus 7 on the top and the bottom, and this will give us a common denominator. Multiply top and bottom, x minus 7. And we'll rewrite this here with our common denominator, x plus 7, x minus 7, x minus 7. We'll copy that. And we have 5x minus 2 times x minus 7. And then we can distribute and combine like terms. And we get 5x minus 2x would be 3x. And then negative 2 times negative 7, we get plus 14. Multiplying. Multiply fractions, multiply straight across. You don't need a common denominator. However, I am going to factor first. I'm going to factor out the greatest common factor. You know what? I'm going to write it down here so that we can cancel before we multiply. You could cancel after you multiply. It depends on what you prefer. Factoring out a greatest common factor from the numerator. And then the quadratic on the bottom, x minus 3 times x minus 3, multiplies to give you positive 9, adds to give you negative 6. And x minus 3, we can't do anything with that. Factoring out the greatest common factor of 6, we're left with x plus 2. Now you can cancel before you multiply straight across. I'll do that here. And we can cancel x plus 2 diagonally, x minus 3, one of them, diagonally. And now we can multiply straight across. Top and bottom, we get 2 times 1, which is just 2. And then we get 6 times x minus 3 in the bottom. Oh, and we can actually reduce the 2 and the 6. we'll get 1/3. So our final answer will be 1/3 times x minus 3. And you could distribute, go one step further, and we get 1/3x minus 9, depending on whether they want you to FOIL the bottom or distribute. Dividing. Dividing, we just multiply by the reciprocal. Keep, change, flip. So we'll keep the first fraction as it is. Keep, change the division to multiplication, and then flip the second fraction. Keep, change, flip. Multiply by the reciprocal. Now we can factor and cancel. Then we'll multiply straight across. So we'll factor out our greatest common factor, -4. And we're left with x plus 3. Yeah, and x minus 7 can't do anything there. Factor out the greatest common factor. And then we'll factor the quadratic. What multiplies to -16 and adds to -6? -8 and +2. And then let's cancel before we multiply. We can cancel x minus 7 and x minus 7. And that's it. And we'll multiply straight across, top and bottom. And we get -4x plus 3. Oh, times 2. -4 times 2 is 8. -8. And on the bottom, we get x minus 8 and x plus 2. I'm going to leave it just like that. And the last one, we'll do one more division, seeing a division of fractions in this way. We could rewrite this so that you can clearly see our keep, change, flip. So we've got our first fraction. And then I'm going to write the division sign so that you can clearly see what we are dividing and then what we keep, change, and flip, or what the reciprocal is. So I'm going to keep it just the way it is. I haven't flipped it or anything. I'm just rewriting x squared minus 36 over x plus 5. Now we can keep, change, flip. So we'll keep the first fraction, change the division to multiplication, and flip the second fraction. And change to multiplication, and then flip. We'll multiply by the reciprocal. And then we'll factor. Factoring out a greatest common factor. Factoring out a greatest common factor. Can't do anything with this one. And then factoring a difference of squares, x plus 6, x minus 6, square root of 36 is 6. Then we can cancel before we multiply. And we can cancel top and bottom or diagonally. So x minus 6 cancels, x plus 5 cancels. And then we can multiply straight across. I'm going to multiply down here just so we have enough room. 4 times 1 is 4. And then -3 times x plus 6. And there we are. That concludes operations with rational expressions. Thanks so much for joining our session, and I'll see you next time.